Hey friends, sorry about the time change. You gotta be fluid. You gotta be fluid during finals week. You gotta be fluid during quarantine. You gotta go with the times sometimes. Let me tag people. I got a giveaway today. Oh, shoot, I sure brought my giveaway down here. I'll just tell you what it is. Tagging people. How is everyone today? I'm just tagging everyone. Hi! my screen's always like, all I see are people that I'm tagging until I come back and I'm like, yay! Okay, Lori, I'm glad it works for you. This is just a weird week with finals this week, and my husband's on Zoom and a lot right now as we're kind of getting the kids wrapped up, his players wrapped up, and heading into summer and trying to figure out summer schedules for people, and there's just a lot going on. So I'm even in kind of a different spot in my basement, so that hopefully I don't not as, maybe my sound doesn't travel up. They're always like, we can hear you. I'm like, I'm very passionate. I have a lot to say. So I give you a couple minutes to get on. Thank you for your flexibility. I know I planned to go tonight, but I just needed to go this afternoon, and I have 5 points to go over. So I'm really, really trying harder in May to be efficient and expedient and time effective. I'm trying hard. So you know the drill. Get on here and tag your people. Let's go. I don't care what time of day it is. And I have 5 giveaways today. I didn't bring them down here, but I'm giving away 5 copies of Alana Molstein's new book, You Can Drop It. I'm giving that away today. The parameters for that doesn't change from my original post, but you got to get on and you got to be tagging your people. So let's go. Also, can someone throw up some hearts or something so I can tell if the hearts are even working on my end? And then let me know if you did. No hearts? Oh, there's one. There's one singular heart going like this, a very sad little heart. There's a few. All right, a couple minutes. We're going to get started. Tag your people. Let's go. I need to see people tagging people. That's the only way we're going to get I've got 5 books to give away today. 5 Alana Molstein's You Can Drop It book. And you know the drill. If you already have the book and you win the book, what's your job? You gotta give the book away. But you can't win the book unless you're tagging. So let's go. Get your people on. Get your coaches on. I spammed hearts. That's funny. That's funny. Tag your people. Let's go. You got 1 minute. I want to see more tags, more people, more engagement. Come on now. You got to show some love. Show me some love. Show your team some love. Show me love for the fact that I'm trying really hard to be efficient. Trying really hard. So you got some big goals to be hitting by Thursday. We don't have time to be spending an hour looking at me. So come on now. I have 5 points to share with you today. I've got them all written down in my handy little master plan. And then, nothing is random. I was just looking at my email and an article came through my inbox that I have to share this with you. So the timing was perfect because nothing is random, right? So I'm going to read it to you because it's short. Okay, let me turn off my music. We're going to get started. All right. Let's get going. So I know a lot of times I come on live. Yesterday I didn't. We just had a lot of stuff going on, and we're heading into a holiday weekend. I don't know that the holiday weekend feels or looks any different than any other weekend the past 2 months, but I'll tell you what is different right now. If I can back up and you can see, I have on jeans right now. I have on jeans. This may be the first time I've had jeans on in 2 months. Why? I don't know. I just decided today I'm putting on jeans. And it's funny because Emily, my accountant, I don't know if she's on here right now. She's probably not. She's too busy sending me text messages that say, hey, so you had a lot of online shopping last week. And I'm like, you know what? It was a hard week last week, Emily. It was a hard week, but she's right. And how about we just dig into some of the stuff that's been hanging in my closet for 2 months, unworn, and wear that. So hence, I have on jeans. These are new shoes, but the jeans are old. So I think that counts. Yeah, I mean that counts that they're old. So not only am I on a mission to be more time efficient, I'm on a mission to geek with the online spending this week. So hold me accountable to that. It's just so easy. So that's what I gave up for Lent, was online shopping until we went into lockdown. I'm like, oh, well, I can't do that. So here we are. All right, so I have 5 pieces to share with you today. I kind of call these our daily heart and hustle because I'm hoping to give you some tangible stuff around which to hustle, but I also really believe at my core, I believe my zone of genius, and we all have one, so it's not like I'm a genius. We all have a zone of genius. We all have our sweet spot. We all have our place where we're like, yeah, I'm in my flow. I really believe for me in this business is taking all the belief that I have in this business, in this team, in you as individuals. I really believe my zone of genius is taking all that belief that I have, because I have it in spades, and pouring it into you. And that's the heart part of it. That's the daily heart part of it. I also believe that part of my job is to point you in the direction where you can find tools to help you grow your business. That's the hustle part of it. I am one of my longtime friends, Dave Ward, who is actually a founding coach. He and his wife, Dave and Monica Ward, are founding coaches. And they've always said from the very beginning that we are professional pointers. We are professional pointers in the right direction, whether it's pointers down this path, pointers of here's the light, let me take you down this path, pointers of here's the roadmap, I have it, pointers for our coaches like let me point towards a resource that will help you, or pointers like let me point your fingers back at you and tell you to figure it out. You know, all of that. I've always loved that mindset that we are professional pointers. I don't have to be the expert. I just have to kind of point you in the right direction, and that's the hustle part of it. So every day in my mind, I call these, and I call them on social media sometimes too, and I call them in here sometimes. I just call these our daily heart and hustles, because I want to come in and give you all of my heart and all of my belief in your potential and your possibility, in this team's potential and possibility, in the business potential. I want to give you all of my heart. I want to, if I could like tip it over in a jar into you, I would do that. And then I also want to give you the hustle piece of it. And that's the pointing in the right direction. And some of that pointing is right back at you to figure stuff out. So that's what I consider these little chats. That's what I think they are. They're a daily heart and hustle. And today I started calling them Tuesday Tools. And I've got 5 pieces that I want to share with you that you can put into your toolbox, both for the hustle part of it and for the heart part of it. So I'm going to start with number 1. Some stats for you. Now, why do I give you stats? Because that is all part of fueling your belief and giving you context where we are and what's happening in the business. There is a weird thing that happens in every single industry. I know it happened when I was teaching high school. Like when I taught high school English, I would drive into the parking lot. I would get out of my car, I would go into my classroom, and there were a lot of days that I did not see really another grown-up person unless I was standing in my hallway monitoring, and I didn't come out of my room. So you tend to think that everything that's happening in the world is what's happening right there in your classroom. So if you have students that are misbehaving, you're like, well, everyone must be misbehaving. Or if you have students that are just amazing, everyone must be amazing, because you've taken it down to this microcosm of what's happening in your classroom. I would walk in there sometimes at 7 a.m. and not walk out of my classroom again until 3:30. Stab me in the eyeball now. How I did that, I don't know. And I just thought that everything that was happening, my classroom was like the bubble. And that's what happens in this business. And that's what happens in our individual businesses, for good and for bad. You know, sometimes we can get in our bubble in such a positive way because we have so much momentum that we're like, well, aren't you all on fire? And other teams might be like, no. And then other times we think that the business isn't doing very well because maybe we haven't been inviting enough. So it feels like it's not working for us when the rest of the business is on fire. So I think these statistics that I share with you help give you context and also help you understand the massive billion-dollar business of which we are a part. Yes, you are working your individual business just like I am, on my laptop, on my phone, individually and within our team. But this is a massive billion-dollar industry that we're a part of. And so it's important to have some stats to understand the momentum within the business. Yes? Do you agree? If so, I'd love to see some hearts. I would love to see some people that are excited to be here today. I'm going to give you these stats anyway. Last Thursday, we celebrated 160 new diamonds in the network. Context: the normal amount of diamonds prior to March was 45. The normal amount of diamonds per week in the network prior to March was 45. It then bumped up to about 60, and then it went to 92, and then it went to 150, and then it went to like 203, and then it's kind of settled in this 150, 160 mark every single week, new diamonds. Let me say this again. Before March, prior to March, the amount of diamonds we normally had, the average, was 45. Our new average is about 150. So 3 times the amount of what we've normally had. So if at any point in time you think that there's not momentum happening in the business, that's incorrect. That's just a fact. And you feeling that like there isn't momentum in the business, feelings aren't facts. They're just feelings. And the fact is, the data shows we have tremendous momentum in the business. So if you aren't feeling that momentum, you've got a couple options. Number one, you need to tell yourself a different story. And number two, you may need to take a really good look at the actions that you're doing every day. It was so interesting because last week, what did I do? Whose call did I spoke on a call on Friday, right after I did Find Out Friday. So I did Find Out Friday at 11. I spoke on a call at noon. I led a Power Hour 1. And on that call at noon, someone asked me, well, I just feel like I only recruit discount coaches. Well, how do I not recruit discount coaches? And my response to her was, don't be a discount coach yourself. Because likely if you're struggling with recruiting, and I'm saying this as someone who has learned it and continues to learn it every single day. You know that, right? Like, I don't need to say this every single time. We're at the point now where I've been doing our daily heart and hustle since January 1st, so for 5 months, and you know that I come to you with love, nothing but love and obsession and belief in what we can do. So when I'm telling you this, that if you are recruiting discount coaches, it's likely you're a discount coach yourself. And you might say, no, I'm building a business, but do your actions reflect that? So when you go back and look at the stat, 160 new diamonds in a week, and you're saying, well, I don't feel that momentum, then you need to go back and look to see if your actions reflect the momentum that's happening in the business, because it's probably likely that they don't. And that's just a fact. That's data. That's just data. We can't argue with facts and data. You can make the case and spend all kinds of energy around why you don't have momentum right now, and all you're doing is creating energy around something that doesn't make a difference, doesn't move your business forward. So what would be the point of that? The fact is, there are 160 new diamonds in the network last week. The fact is, our average prior to March was 45. The fact is, we are creating 3 times the amount of diamonds that we used to in a pandemic. So the fact is, there is momentum in this business. The other fact is, are you leveraging that? The second stat, there were 12 new 1-stars last week. 12 new 1-star diamond coaches. We used to average 1 or 2 a week. We now average 12. 160 new diamonds, 12 new 1-star diamonds. The average for the diamonds was 45. The average for the 1-stars was 1 to 2. You still want to argue about if there's momentum in the business? Okay. The next stat, by May 16th, what's today, the 19th? So by May 16th, we had 23,000 new enrollers in the business. A new enroller is a coach who's come in and in their first 30 days has sold a challenge pack, has Success Club points on the board. Make sure that you're clear on that. A new enroller means a coach who's come on and in their first 30 days has some Success Club points on the board. It does not mean they've hit Success Club. It means they have some points on the board. They have in their first 30 days as a coach sold a or more challenge pack. By May 16th, we had 23,000 of those. So halfway through the month, we had 23,000. In all of April, the entire month of April, we had 30,000 new enrollers. The entire month, April 1st to April 30th, we had 30,000 new enrollers. By May 16th, so halfway through the month, we have 23,000 new enrollers. We still have another half of the month to go. What's the likelihood that we surpass 30,000 from April? I'd say it's pretty high. That, according to corporate, that number right there is the biggest indicator of momentum in the business. It's fact. It's data. Period. So far in 2020, we have 5 new diamonds on this team. 5 coaches who have hit and held the 6 weeks to have a solid diamond business that affects their upline, that affects the team, that is a sustainable, solid diamond business. Not an up and down and up and down and up and down. That is not a solid diamond business. So far in 2020, we have 5 of those. What's our goal for 2020? I'll wait. Thank you, Rebecca. Rebecca, paying attention. Melissa, paying attention. Excellent. Kate, paying attention. Yes, our goal. Lacey, paying attention. I love it. Excellent. Michelle, very good. Our goal is 40 on the team. Now, I'm going to give you some context again because we've talked about another team in the network, currently the number 1 team in the network, who also has a goal for 40. That's where I was inspired by this. This is where I took it to our veteran coaches, and I actually wanted to make it less, and they pushed me. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. We all need people that will push us, and that's where the number 40 came from. 20 plus 20, 2020, 40 new diamonds. The other team that from whom I was inspired by, they were there. I was just on a call with her yesterday, and she was referencing a coach that started in April and will be a diamond on Thursday. So they're probably 20 plus to their goal of 40. By May, what will Thursday be? 21st. They're probably 20 plus new diamonds on their team to their goal of 40. So if you are at 20 plus by May 21st, 5 months in the year, do you think you have a pretty good shot at hitting that goal by the end of the year? I would say yes, because you're already halfway over your goal and you're not halfway through the year. So I would say yes. Now, we got a little bit of catch up to do because we just set this goal a couple weeks ago. However, whether the goal was there or not, everyone's goal should be getting to diamond, because that's where you're going to cycle the most. That's what's going to help the team. That's going to help your business. So the fact that we have 5 so far in 2020 is amazing, but it's a long way from 40. So let's go back to the stats. Last week we had 160 new diamonds in the network. We had 12 new 1-stars. For context, 45 was average before that. 1 to 2 was average before that. We have had, since by May 16th, 23,000 new enrollers. That's coaches coming on in their first 30 days and sharing a challenge pack. In April, we had 30,000 the entire month. By May 16th, we've had 23,000. So we will exceed that 30,000 new enroller mark. And according to corporate, that is the data right there that indicates ginormous momentum in the business. We now have 2 million subscribers on Beachbody On Demand. Like, are you freaking kidding me? And I was just telling my husband, I can't remember if I said this to you on one of these Daily Heart and Hustles or not, but I was on CAB when we made that transition from digital from DVD to digital, and how many coaches pushed back on that, and how adamant that Carl was that we had to go to digital. We had to go to digital. We had to go to digital. And even at the time, I felt like we were a little bit behind, that we should have been making that transition to digital even sooner. But Carl was so adamant we needed to transition to digital, even if the network was like, I don't know how this is going to happen. And it was a hard year, that first year of transition, like really, really hard. Almost every CAB meeting, Coach Advisory Board meeting that I was in, most of us were in tears. We're trying to figure this out. It was a giant turn of the wheel on this Titanic of a business. It was hard. Can you imagine now not being a digital company? Can you imagine that not being a digital company? We have 2 million subscribers on Beachbody On Demand. Isn't that incredible? It's incredible that the vision our CEO has for us. It's incredible the momentum that is happening in the business right now. It is incredible the lives we are changing. And when we talk about that diamond goal, we talked about on Friday, 40 new diamonds times 12, because it's not 120 coaches that gets us to diamond. It's not 1,200 coaches that gets us to diamond. It's 12. 40 diamonds on this team times 12. That's 480 lives changed just through diamond rank advancement. That doesn't even include the new coaches that come on with Success Club. It doesn't include the veteran coaches that are star diamond ranking. It doesn't even include that. But at a minimum, so take the 5 that have hit and held already. What's 5 times 12? 60? So already those 5 alone have changed 60 lives. What? I mean, what? And we have the opportunity now to change 480 lives if we get on board with this goal. Because I guarantee you, if we create 40 diamonds, we will be a top 10 team. If we are a top 10 team, the momentum and the energy that you have to leverage to invite to your team, you can't even imagine that. And as your team grows, what happens? It comes right back to likely the very reason that you started this business in the first place, and that is to provide whatever, insert adjective, insert verb, for your family. You advancing your business to diamond becomes part of this tsunami wave of lives that we are changing, that comes back to pushing us into a top 10 team, that comes back to giving you energy and leverage and momentum for your business, that comes back to your home and helping your family, which is likely the reason you got in this business in the first place. Period. End of discussion. That's what we can do if you get on board and do it. If you get on board and do it. We all have wonky, weird weeks. I lived through one last week and we're still here to tell the tale. That doesn't mean the business is weird or wonky. 160 new diamonds shows that the business isn't wonky. 2 million subscribers on Beachbody on Demand prove the business isn't wonky. 12 new 1-stars last week. The momentum in the business is there. The question is, are you tapping into it? Are you tapping into it? Because if you're not, that's a decision that you have to make to change that. Because again, likely you got into this business to keep yourself accountable, to help you, to help others, meaning your family, and then help others help others. And if you are sitting back in a corner and you're retreating from the thing that's a little bit uncomfortable, then none of that is happening. Not only are you not keeping yourself accountable, you're not helping others do that, you're not helping others do that, and you most of all aren't helping your family. So it is time to get on board with this. Do you want to be a top 10 team? Do you want to create 40 diamonds in 2020 and change at least, bare minimum, 480 lives? Because if you do, we have to take massive action. We have to have massive belief, that's my job, to pour that into you. Because I have it in spades. And if you don't, you just got to get around me. Because I will light you on fire with my belief. Not just in this business, but in you. Because that is my zone of genius, my friends. That is my zone of genius. I have such enormous belief in you. I have such enormous belief that you are here on this team for a reason. That if you don't know that, just get around me. Because I will light you up with it. But you have to do the work. You have to do the massive action, especially when it's inconvenient and even on the days it was hard. Because I think you all know last week was really hard. Here we are. Here I am. Checked off Success Club. Checked off. Checked. Let's go. So hard. Awesome. Let's go. The business has momentum. Are you telling yourself it does? Are you telling yourself it doesn't? 160 new diamonds last week. 160 new diamonds last week. And if you aren't one of them, then that's a decision you have to make to be there on Thursday. It just is a decision. And any single person, swear to you, every single coach who is kind of hemmed and hawed with diamond and then all of a sudden made it happen will 100% tell you it was a decision. April Keever, I know you're on here. April Keever sat at doing nothing for 2 years and in like a month went to diamond. Why? Because she made a decision. That's what it is. Amber Timor made a decision. Jen Moore made a decision. Molly Stick made a decision. They simply made a decision and then they aligned all their actions with that decision, knowing that it creates a ripple effect on their team. So now are we going to create, we have 5. Are we going to create 35 more? And change 480 lives and become a top 10 team that creates so much energy and momentum that it comes right back into you, right back into your home, right back here to this place where you started the business in the beginning to help your family. Well, you can't help your family if you're not taking action. And you can't help your family if you're not creating momentum. And you can't help your family if you're not showing up even on the days that it's hard. Because I can guarantee you this, and I am not good at a lot of things at all, but I can guarantee you that last Friday when Jenna called me, and it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it was hard. But when Jenna called me at 10:30, sobbing, crying, leaving the vet office, having to put those puppies down, and I can't be there with her, and I can't help her, and we're dealing with all this. At 11 a.m., I was on this Facebook Live with you because you do the stuff when it's hard. And at 12, I was on a team call, and at 1, I was on a power hour. And I guarantee you 100% that my daughters who are here saw me do that. So on the day when Jessie didn't really feel like going to her math review, what'd she do? Go to her math review because she's watching me do that too. So if you want your family to understand that you're doing something with this business that can change their life too, you have to do something with this business that can change our life too. I said I wasn't going to be very long. Clearly I lied. Point number 2, virtual summit. Virtual summit. This is all I know about it right now. This is all I know, and I want to tell you what I know, and as more information comes out this week, we will all know more. This is what I know. It is July 16th, 17th, and 18th. There are 1-hour sessions, 4 of them, over 3 days. There's an hour session on July 16th, Thursday night. There's an hour session on July 17th, Friday, and then there are 2 1-hour sessions on Saturday. 1 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. One centered on the Beachbody Challenge, one centered on celebration, one centered on training, one I'm assuming is centered on like announcements. I don't know, but this is, I'm telling you, everything that I've written down is everything I know. July 16th, 17th, 18th, 1-hour sessions over 3 days, 1 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. And some of the veteran coaches and I are starting to think on a team event. I don't have any idea what that'll look like. I don't know if it'll be virtual. I don't know where any of us will be. I don't know. I know nothing about what it could look like. If you have some ideas on how we could do a team event, and some of the veteran coaches and I were talking that, I don't even know if I'm comfortable hosting a team event at my house. There are people that don't live close. Are you going to travel down for a team event to watch a virtual? I don't know the answers to those questions. As we don't know so many answers to so many questions, but I do know there's a virtual summit, 16th, 17th, 18th, 1-hour sessions over 3 days. So 4 total hours and stuff I think happening maybe in the champions page that week, just fun stuff. They're really planning some fun stuff for the week. And the entire theme is better together. And I saw a picture of what they're doing to make it feel like you're in the audience, which is what my summit meeting at 3:00 is about. You guys, it's so cool. Like, would it be really cool if we were together in person? Yes. Well, it'd also be cool if there wasn't a pandemic, but there is, and we can't. So here we are. And they are putting together something. When I saw the picture of what it's going to look like, what it will look like for us, it was just kind of a prototype. I'm like, this is crazy. So what we can do with virtual stuff now is unbelievable. And when Beachbody pulls out the stops, Beachbody pulls out the stops. So that's going to be really cool. So keep that weekend sort of just open for those hours. It's not like you have to have the entire weekend blocked off like you would be at Summit, but you keep those out. You want to be there. You want to be watching it. You want to be watching it live. I feel like we should do something that Saturday morning. There's 2 sessions on Saturday, maybe a team workout and a team. I feel like we should have a watch party. We're going to see our teammates recognized and we want to be cheering them on like we were in the real audience. I don't know how to do that, but we're going to think on it. And if you have some ideas, I'm open to it. I don't know what a great solution is. So I'm open to any and all ideas. That's point number 2. Point number 3, I wanted to share this from what I read yesterday in one of my personal development books. And it's the idea of setting the pace. And we talked a lot about, different mantras today. And thank you to those of you who shared your mantra, put it on a Post-it note and shared it. Thank you very much to those of you who did that. Not thank you to those of you who read it and didn't do it. I see you. I see you, boo, not reading it and liking it and not doing it. So thank you to those of you who did. We've been talking a lot about mantras, and I have been using this idea. I feel like early in the year I heard it somewhere, and I just really liked it. And it was setting the pace, and it was the idea of pick up the pace. And I know I did a call for someone in January, and I was saying that to them. You got to pick up the pace. You got to be the pace setter. And then I read it yesterday in my book, and it's this idea of, are you letting someone else set the pace for you? Are you setting your goals according to what someone else has set or what someone else does? So if you see someone else hit Success Club 6 and you're like, oh, well, I'll just set my goal according to that. Why? Why are you letting someone else set the pace for your life? And those of you that are parents, what would you tell your children? Likely you would tell them, well, do your best, set your pace, run your race. And sometimes as parents, we don't turn that same advice back onto us and to our goals and dreams. So my question for you is, as you're kind of in this week, these next couple weeks of May, which are pretty, pivotal weeks for our team. I shouldn't say pretty, I'm going to say really, really, really pivotal weeks for our team. Like really, really big, because there's going to be a lot of teams who build on the France launch. There are a lot of teams who have a lot of diamonds. This is a big month for our team. Should we choose to still be pursuing the goal of being a top 10 team? This is a big month. And are we setting the pace, or are we looking around and letting other people's average goals and dreams set our pace? Because I bet you if your child came to you and was talking about whatever they were trying to do, whatever they were trying to accomplish, you would probably tell them to run their own race, keep their eyes on their own paper, and set their pace, to do their best and to set their pace. You wouldn't tell them, well, what's your neighbor doing? Just run right beside them. You would say, no, you set your pace, whatever that is. So I'm asking you if you're doing that with your goals and dreams. Are you setting your pace, what you know you're truly capable of? Grant Cardone, in my book, The 10X Rule, says over and over and over again that most of us don't even begin to tap into our true potential. And I believe that for all of us. And I feel this, I don't know what it is, this sort of digging, this calling, this pulling, like in my heart that says we just, like I haven't even tapped into my potential and you haven't, and we haven't as a team, we just haven't, and we underestimate what we can do and who we can be. We just underestimate it. We play it so safe, and we look around and see what everyone else is doing, and we set our pace according to what everyone else is doing. Why? Someone has to be the pace setter. If you went to the Kentucky Derby or the Preakness, someone's got to win that race. Someone is the pace setter. Why can't it be us? Why can't it be us? I just feel like we're not even close to tapping into our potential or the potential that we have as a team. And I think it's because we're not setting the pace. We're just letting ourselves be average. And I'm going to say it again. I know I say it every time, but when I say we, I mean, this is a team effort here. This is not an individual sport. This is not in any way an individual sport. This is a team sport, this coaching thing. The name of the business is Team Beachbody. Our team name is Sparta Nation. It's not Carl Beachbody. This is a team sport, My husband fields a team of 11 players. You can't just go out on the field with a quarterback. It don't work that way. This is a team sport. And I'm wondering if, as a team, we are sorely underestimating our potential, sorely underestimating our capabilities for massive action. I think that we are. I think that we're letting other people set the pace. And I think that there are other teams who are setting their own pace. And instead of being inspired by those teams and those coaches, some of us on this team are letting ourselves be defeated by that. And that's bullshit. That's a decision that you need to change. Because if someone else can do it, we can too. And just in general, think about what if you have children, would tell them. You would never tell them, well, just set your goal average, because you just want to be average. You would never tell them that. So why would you tell yourself that? So let's really think about setting the pace for our business and for our life. Because here's the thing, when we set the pace in our business, we actually change our life. And vice versa. That's how cool this business is. That when we really tap into it and we push ourselves in the business, it actually changes our life. How freaking cool is that? I can tell you that didn't happen when I was teaching high school English. Just saying. Let's talk about social media. This is point number 4, social media. Are you using video on social media? I have been doing some research and listening to, listen to a ton of YouTube videos on social media training. I subscribe to several blogs. I'm reading them pretty regularly on social media training, and it comes over and over and over back to, are you using video? Are you using video? And the thing with social media that makes it so cool is that anyone can play. This is not you have to have qualifications. Like you see the pictures and the videos sometimes that go up on social media. You're like, who told you you could post that? That's heinous. Well, that just should show you anyone can play. This is an all people welcome playground. And because it is, that means social media rewards the people who show up consistently, authentically, creatively. So it's open to all. It is an open field. It is an open playground, and it's open gym. Social media is like open gym. Anyone can play, but it will reward the people who show up consistently, creatively, and authentically. And for those of you in Rise Up Rockstars, and we're just listening to Micah a little bit ago as she was talking about her collections and how she uses collections, and talking about how the invites that she sends are seeds being planted. Whether that person is ready right then or not is not up to her. It's up to her to show up consistently, creatively, and authentically on social media on this open playground so that when that person is ready, she's still been showing up. That's the beautiful thing about social media. And over and over and over and over again, I keep coming back to video. Are you on video? Are you doing something as silly as I am? Setting up your phone in your closet at 5:15 a.m. and just talking while you're putting on your shoes. I was putting on my shoes anyway. Why not talk on social media? Are you setting up your phone somewhere maybe while you're making your shake and just talking? Are you? Because the people that are on video, social media is going to reward that. That's the rule of the open gym right now, is that social media likes video. It will reward those who show up consistently, creatively, and authentically. Here's what's cool. We control that. It's such a beautiful way to share our story. So we get to control that. And then last, I'm going to read you this article that just came through my inbox, and I think it's so good. Hi, Christy and Drinka. How are you? Christy, you missed, I was just popping off a minute ago, and you missed me popping off. Tell Christy how much I was like, popping off a minute ago. She missed it. Every once in a while it happens, doesn't it? I'm very passionate about this business and this team. I'm obsessed with this team, what we're going to do this year. Okay, here's the article, and I want you to think of it in terms of your business. One of the biggest challenges in business is fighting complexity. The more complex things are, the more confusion and misunderstanding reign, and the lower our efficiency becomes. When things get too complicated, people cannot see how success can be achieved. Did you hear that? When things get too complicated, people cannot see how success can be achieved, which has an impact on belief, which then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, here's the thing when you back that up. When things get too complicated, I'm also going to say, when we make things too complicated, we cannot see how success can be achieved, which has an effect on belief, which becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When we make stuff harder than it has to be, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. People are not afraid of hard work. They're afraid of failure. And when we cannot see how we will be successful, this causes our teams to quit or not try as hard as they might. Saying that with love. According to the research on project failure by this scientist, 70% of people believe that the projects they were involved in would fail before they even started. And it's highly likely this belief itself contributed to the failure. What the freak? Did you hear that? 70% of people believe the projects they were involved in would fail before they started. And it's highly likely this belief itself contributed to the failure. Well, yeah, because you already thought you were going to fail. What happens when you start a new month? What happens when you start a new day? What happens when you wake up today? Did you wake up and go, there are 10 human beings on this planet who need what I have? Or did you go, dang it, I don't know if I'm gonna find anyone today? Because if that was your attitude, I bet you haven't found anyone today. The belief contributed to the failure. So the more we can simplify, the more successful we can be. And here are 3 things we can start doing today to increase simplicity. So we've done the heart piece of it. This is the hustle piece. 3 things we can do today to increase simplicity. Number 1, ask yourself if there's a pencil solution available. For every problem, there's at least one complex solution, and they're usually very easy to find. We need to make sure we continue to check for simple solutions and not stop at the first solution found. I always remind my team of the NASA and the pen story, where NASA allegedly brought together pen experts and spent $1 million and 12 months to develop a pen that would write in 0 gravity and low pressure. The Russians, they used a pencil. We need to check to see if a pencil solution exists. And if so, go with that. What? Anyone else's like jaw drop? My jaw drop when I read that. I'm like, that right there is everything, because that comes back to overthinking. And when we overthink and we make it harder than it has to be, that contributes to our belief, which becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Number 2, challenge your experts. Sometimes experts say this is too complex to explain or that your knowledge is insufficient to understand. But I always draw on the wisdom of Albert Einstein, who said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Experts don't like this because it puts the burden on them to explain it, not on you to understand it. If they can't explain it simply, then this is a warning. If they don't understand the solution or the problem, how can we be confident that they can solve it? Here's the deal. When I read this and I came back to this, I kept thinking, well, how do I explain the business? This is how I explain the business. We press play, we drink a shake, we read a book, and we invite other people to join us. That's how I explain this business. If you can't explain your challenge group, your business, your mission in life that simply, go back and think on how you can. Take it down, strip it down to the bare bones. How can you say it so simply? And number 3, assume you only have 20% of the required time. April, you're going to love this because you and I have talked about, you can get to diamond in like 2 days if you really want it. Assume you only have 20% of the required time. I love this approach because it does require you to think differently. We can all probably shave 5 to 10% of the time needed to complete a task just by doing it the way we already know better. But when we try to complete something with only 20% of the required time, we need to completely rethink our approach. This mindset shift will get you thinking outside the box. It will also help increase your creative problem-solving skills. It might not always give you a great solution, but it will challenge you to think about things and help you see a simpler solution that maybe you're just missing out on before. Richard Branson, who owns Virgin Airlines, says, complexity is your enemy. Any fool can make something complicated. It's hard to make something simple. And I think about that because April and I always talk about how you can get to diamond really quickly if you're actually making the decision to do it. Y'all, we got this team to elite last year in about 4 weeks because I had to think so creatively. And I had 20% time to make it happen. 20% time to make it happen. So I had to think creatively, I had to think out of the box, and I had to take massive action. Well, guess what? All the stuff that I did in those 4 weeks is stuff I could have been doing for 9 months and just wasn't. So when you give yourself that 20%, when you give yourself that short deadline, you'll get to work and you'll take the massive action. And then what's cool is you discover that you could have been doing that stuff all along. You discover these different solutions that you could have been doing all along. That's what makes it so cool. So recapping, number 1, think about if there's a pencil solution. Don't spend $1 million on a pen when you can use a pencil. Number 2, that's why I always say, go in your Coach Online. I don't need to create a new coach training. There's one in your Coach Online office. We don't need to recreate the wheel. Let's spend our time on the stuff that only we can do, not the stuff that's already been created. Is there a pencil solution? Number 2, make sure that you can explain it simply. If you can't explain it simply, you might not understand it. And number 3, assume you only have 20% of the time. If you want to be diamond by June 15th, you need to be diamond by Thursday. You got 20% of the time, because I guarantee you when you shorten that time frame, your action has to 10x to make it happen. And then you discover, well, you could have been doing that all along. And I know that from experience because I did. Can't tell you stuff that I haven't learned or experienced myself. Okay, that's it. Those are our points for today. That is your Tuesday tools. Some heart, some hustle, hopefully some tactical tips. There's tons of new resources on the Beachbody Champions page YouTube channel. Something that I shared with the Rise Up Rockstars group I think it was in that group this week was, one of the my favorite things to do in the morning is I turn on a YouTube video, some kind of training, some kind of something. Not just like, I don't need Tony Robbins to fire me up. I'm fired up. I love what I do. I'm obsessed with all of you. And this, I don't need to be fired up, but I want ideas and I want content and I want to be inspired. So I turn on YouTube trainings in the morning while I'm getting ready at 4:15 a.m. And there's so much content out there, y'all. There's so much content out there. Whatever you're looking for, whatever you need to learn, it is out there on YouTube. And it's a cool way to I have a little cute little rose gold holder in my bathroom, and I just set up my phone and I turn on my YouTube. I've got a watch later playlist. So as I share with the Rise Up Rockstars group, I make a watch later playlist as stuff comes up that I want to get to that I think will be valuable. I put it in a watch later playlist, and then every morning I open up and I'm watching something while I'm getting ready, kind of watching something while I'm getting ready that is going to help me be better today or in the future, or that I can share with you. Remember, personal growth. Personal for me, growth for you. So I'm watching something that will help me in my personal growth journey. So if you're looking for tools, you're looking for more of the hustle piece of it, like you got the heart, you got the belief, but you're looking for more of the hustle piece, I encourage you to go to the Beachbody Champions YouTube page and then just YouTube in general and start finding some videos out there. Make a watch later playlist. I guarantee you will never run out of content. People are putting content out there, and they don't have to be Beachbody people. I find stuff from authors that I've read. When I finished the Talent Code and the Culture Code, I went on YouTube and looked for the author. He's done a ton of lectures. I want to know that. When I finished Ride of a Lifetime, I say this with 99.9% confidence, I've watched every Bob Iger interview that there is out there. I've watched it all. So deep dive into those authors that you love. Deep dive into those coaches that you also feel like you resonate with. Deep dive into stuff Carl's put out there on the Champions page. All of it. Keep deep diving. Keep filling your mind with that stuff, and that will help you with the heart piece, but it'll also help you with the hustle piece as well. So those are our Tuesday tools for today. I don't know if I'll be in here tomorrow. I'm doing a mastermind with our Rise Up Rockstar group tomorrow at noon, so I'm not sure. It kind of depends on the girls' final schedule. And, we do our family schedule overview at night. So if I'm not on tomorrow, I'll try to be on Thursday. And as I learn more about Summit, let you know if you've got ideas on what we should do as a team to celebrate. And then also, starting next week, I will be sending out something that you would have gotten had we had a real summit. And if you don't get one at some point, we'll talk about that. I'll start with my personally sponsored coaches first and go from there. But I'd already ordered it. And then just, I have it. So I'll be sending that out starting probably over the weekend. So be looking for that as well. So, all right, cool. April, you're going to help me choose 5. Did you already get all the names in, and can we choose them right now? I got to get a pencil if you did. If you did, I'll write them down because we're choosing 5, and I've got Alana Mulsey's book to give out. Do you want to choose it? Do you want to do that right now, April, or do you want to do it later? April's my chooser. I don't even know how I function. There are people in my life I don't know how I function without. April is one of them. Just let me know if you want to do it now or you want to do it later. Oh, you did. She drew them. She drew them a minute ago. Okay. hold on, April, can I bring you on? How do I do that? Can you request to be on? Can you request to be on live, April? Hold on, maybe I might be able to do this. Hold on. Hold on. Allow your guest to, okay, April, request to be on. See if you can request to be on. And then you can say it out loud. Can you do that? She's just typing him in. She's not requesting to be live. Can I bring her on? I don't, I turned that capability on, but I have no idea how to do it. But you know what? If I went on Google or YouTube, I could figure it out. I'd watch a video how to do it. I don't know. Okay. All right, we'll figure it out next time. Okay, so I'm writing this down. Okay, Megan Kuiper. Megan, please Facebook message me your address. Because if I have to go to the online office, I just won't do it. So I'm just telling you. Megan, you got to Facebook message me. Amanda Paulson. Rihanna Allen. Love this. Green button. Comment. We don't know what we're doing. Who are my other? Just tell me who my other two are. I gotta YouTube it. I gotta Google it. How to bring people on Facebook. On Facebook Live. Who are my other two? I don't see. That's okay. So we've got Megan, we've got Amanda Paulson, we've got Rihanna Allen. Who's number 4 and number 5? Allie Bourne. Love it. Okay, and number 5, Melissa Ortiz. Excellent. If you 5, please, will. Actually, if you'll just email me, that's actually easier. Julie, it's super hard to remember. You ready? Julie@julievoris.com. I know, it's mind-boggling. Julie@julievoris.com. If you will just email me with your mailing address, I can print it off and get you a little something out. I am sending you Alana Molstein's new book. You can drop it. And if you already have it, you can give it away to someone. How cool is that? So Megan, Amanda, Rihanna, Allie, Melissa, email me, Julie@julievoris.com. Cool? All right, let's get to work, y'all. We got lives to change. Obsessed with you. Have a great day.